is definitely a man who could use some relaxation after what happened to him at SummerSlam. But of course, this figure is of a Brock Lesnar when he was much more relaxed. Right after he destroyed The Undertaker and was ready to destroy John Cena at SummerSlam. That is right, it is Elite Series 37, Brock Lesnar. On the back it says a few facts about him, but I pretty much know all of this from watching the WWE programming on my television. There are some other good people in this set, and I'm pretty pleased I picked up the whole set. He comes with some nice accessories. He comes with his World Heavyweight Championship belt, the WWE version, which looks pretty good until you get close and realize that it's just a repainted version of the basic one. It's not shiny like it's included with Paige. It's super upsetting, to be honest. He comes with a beanie that says Fear the Fury and a t-shirt that says Eat, Sleep, Conquer John Cena. He certainly did conquer John Cena, and he did a great job doing it. The back says Paul Heyman the Beast, because he is no beauty, he is a beast incarnate. Overall, I'd say that this figure is definitely in the disappointing department. He comes with a shirt that is Ryback style, which he didn't wear. He wore a shirt with the sleeves cut off, not a slit completely down. The hat is fine, the attire is fine, but basically it just reminds me of every other Brock Lesnar figure other than the odd face. I just can't get over the fact that they gave us his silly open mouth face, which should have been just used once with the basic. And don't get me started on the belt. Feels like a big ripoff as a long-term Mattel WWE collector for the past 2 years. Well, in hindsight, that's a bit short-term. But I'm starting to really feel the effects of them going cheap. The figure itself is articulated. Alright, the head is a bit loose. But the accessories really let me down. This is not the Brock Lesnar I wanted. This is not the Brock Lesnar he deserves. Let's hope that the next figure in this Elite lineup bears better. Brappadoo. That's what his song says when it starts. And it's a perfect follow-up to John Cena, the greatest wrestler of all time, right after Brock Lesnar. His nickname is the Champ, and the reason why that's his nickname is because he is a literal champion of the world. There is nothing that he has lost. Not even an eyelash. Not even a hat or a scarf. He knows where everything is. That's why he's the champion from Night of Champions 2014, wearing his nice red attire. Some people are mad at me because I would have preferred his blue attire. This is his third red figure, and honestly, it might be the best. The face, I'm going to assume, is a new face, and it's okay. It doesn't really look like Cena, but then again, none of the figures really do. Comes with a real armband and painted on sweatbands for his wrist. The hat's nice, and I really enjoy that he comes with camo pants. The shirt is a basic cloth shirt that only shows the front and not the back. So if you want a John Cena figure with the back, you're going to have to track down the Walmart exclusive John Cena Entrance Series Greats figure, because you're not going to get that here. Do you think in the future they will no longer give us the dog tags? I wonder. I'm not the biggest fan of the dog tag. It doesn't really look like a real dog tag. Let me know in the comments what you think of the dog tags. Here's a bit of a close-up on this Cena. And you know what? I really like this figure. I have a lot of Cenas. And I really cannot say that this one's bad just because they release a lot. It's honestly really good. Even though the face isn't great. But then again, I've never really had a Cena with a great face. They're all kind of, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? And to get the camo shorts is a really great inclusion, because you can tell that they put a lot of their budget into this figure, which makes it actually a bit more upsetting that they probably use more in the budget for this instead of giving Brock Lesnar a detailed belt. That upsets me in hindsight, but I cannot fault the Cena figure for taking more budget, because that is more a Mattel flaw, and they should know that WWE is probably one of their best selling licenses, so they should give more money to these figures, because they are certainly going up in price and going down in quality and quality control. But luckily, this Cena seems to be great. I don't really see my favorite paint flaws or any of that. So honestly, I'm going to recommend the Cena figure for you if you don't have a red Cena, or if you don't have a contemporary one, because they did a good job, and maybe one day they'll actually get a John Cena head that looks like the champ. I know that's a bit out of this world when pigs fly or when hell freezes over. But if you put a pig in an airplane, is it not flying? Is there a bigger star in the universe than The Miz? Mike the Miz, as I sometimes call him. I don't think so. This is one famous dude, and he's beautifully represented in Elite 37. He is dressed up like a fashionista, the fashion plate of RELAXATION review. And there he is, Mr. Dean Malenko. He comes with a belt, a championship belt, which is one of the things that gets people very riled up in regards to this figure. It's a botch on Mattel's because they said it includes a United States Championship title. Yet what we actually got was the WWF Cruiserweight Championship, which is shocking because Dean Malenko never held that title. Only the WCW Cruiserweight. So people are upset, but at least it comes with actual plates and isn't like the belt that came with Brock Lesnar. Looking at this figure right now, I have to say that it looks pretty good. I'm a pretty big fan of the vest and his attire, but I'm not liking his lack of facial hair. They showed some stubble at Comic-Con, but there is no stubble here. It's a bit upsetting, and honestly, if there was stubble, I think this figure would have been far superior. As I mentioned before, I dislike how he is so skinny. I think he could have been a little bit bulkier, but his nice attire kind of makes up for it. Not totally, but it's still pretty cool. So while this isn't the greatest Dean Malenko figure, it's probably the only one we'll get from Mattel. Let me show you him without his vest on. Without his vest, you can really tell how thin he is, and how they pretty much used a wrong mold for him. Mattel really botched this lineup up, and it's unfortunate for us consumers. But hey, at least I was able to make this video and hopefully relax you. If I did, let me know in the comments. One of my favorite wrestlers to make relaxation videos of is Seth Rollins, because he is definitely a character or wrestler who could use a little bit of calming down. He is very high strung, and here he is wearing his attire from Hell in the Cell 2014. Let's first take out everything to make it easier to review, because if I kept him in that plastic container, it would have been really, really challenging. His legs are extremely skinny, and I feel like that's a botch on Mattel. They could have made his legs a bit more buff, and it would have looked a lot more like Mr. Seth Rollins. Also, the vest is a different color than his pants and also his arms, so I don't know what they're doing there. It all seems very confusing, but it is a nice attire, and hopefully they will fix that for the Toys R Us Big Book exclusive. The face cam is pretty great. I think it's one of the best, if not the best, Seth Rollins face cam we have to date. I also really like the texture on the vest, and I think that the plastic rubber they use works extremely